No mistake, chums, this will really kill off Meghan Markle's, well, brand, launch, influence, whatever you want to call it, as she now grapples with this particular bombshell. As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And by the way, thank you. Sorry, we'll have a lovely wave. Thank you, by the way, for enjoying the video regarding Princess Margaret and how she defined her own image. You know, a few people said on the comments, oh, you know, she wasn't my favourite royal. She could be tricky. I met her. You know, that's the thing. She could be tricky. But on the other side of it, she did a lot of things behind the scenes that she didn't get any credit for. You know, long before Princess Diana, let me tell you, she went to visit the people who sadly contracted AIDS. No fanfare, no nothing, literally went behind the scenes. There are no pictures of these visits, but I know they existed. You know, I have that on 100% proof. So while people might not like her for one thing, you have to remember she tried to do the right thing, possibly without fanfare behind the scenes. Some might say this is not going the same way, of course, for the former royal known as Prince Harry. Now, as many people know, everybody got very excited by the fact that finally his visa application may be exposed to the world, right? And this was going to be the big thing, wasn't it, you know? But the problem is, as we've now all seen, it's all been redacted and you can't reread it, etc. Now, obviously, in the case of impartiality, I have to say, well, I didn't really expect anything less. I think, you know, the President Trump, really put it in the words of what his plan was when he said earlier this year, I think he's got enough problems, you know, with the wife. She's terrible. I think really that was the plot that he was putting over. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously the bigger picture is this. He's now noted as being a liar. Right? Because if you don't prove it, then you are a liar, and that's the problem. Now, how does this really pan out? Well, not only is it very damaging towards the British monarchy over here, because again, it makes things look, well, you know, unsavoury to say the least. And obviously, if Harry had nothing to hide, why couldn't he share this particular information? It would have killed the story months ago. And seemingly as well, as many people realise over in America, if he's working out there, he should be paying taxes, whatever visa he's on. I think, as a normal citizen stepping back, of course, from the realms of the British monarchy, then the bottom line is, what's the problem? But the bigger problem now is how this is going to impact on Meghan Markle. And this is because, you know, if you can't trust the husband to be open and transparent, then how on earth are you supposed to trust somebody who can't even be bothered to film her own show inside her own house, and we're supposed to believe this artificial reality of the children and the home and her cooking and all of the things that she's trying to push on Instagram. This is really, really bad news, whichever way you want to look at it. And now that new person, the director of marketing, etc., has an even bigger, unfathomable task to try and make Meghan more palatable. All the while, what you will notice is that he's keeping his distance from her, because they do know that this plays out very badly. But of course, as Netflix push for those hardcore store openings in the hope that you or I or the rest of the world might fancy a pot of jam, all the while they're going to remember the fact that Prince Harry has not been telling the truth, not in his book and now not on his visa. Either way, another dark day in the quest to remain relevant for the former royal known as Meghan Markle. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.